from the standpoint of what they're doing, the first mistake is they're supposed to be in fresh water. They call in the wrong mother at the salt water for the cleanup, because she don't play no, she's stern. She's more stern. But the right one, the correct mother or the correct goddess is from the fresh water. Now, once we start these training to flip the grid, there would be a series of women in various age groups from pre-puberty to senior citizen, post-menopause. The older women have to have the vigor of a young woman. And that's another video I got that'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'll be saving videos that can illustrate the correct formula so that you can see what I'm talking about. Now, the older women are like the guides. The whole thing is to tie the wisdom to and experience of the elders to the vigor and bravado of the youth. When you're 20, you'll do some shit at 20 that there's no way you're gonna do when you're 50. Ain't no way. You don't have the courage to try no shit like that when you're 50. The same stuff you do when you're 20, you're not gonna do when you're 50. You learn so much stuff now, you already know that the consequences outweigh the benefits to such a degree that I'm not going to even put myself in that path. And so when we build the structure, we actually supposed to be building a building. The building is supposed to be shaped like a big ass donut. And in the middle of the building, all of the children comes out, and you cover it up with plexiglass with air ventilation around the top so that the rain can drain to the outside as opposed to the inside. And then you can still have an open air in the middle. And then all of the children is supposed to go to in the morning, because some people are going to go out to jobs in the street while some people stay in the community and work with children and work with the women. Now in there you got your education, your doula center, your rites of passage. All these things is taking place at the same time, but you also have the formation of the pyramid structure of your family with the head of the household at the top, which is always a pair, and it trickles down according to the needs of the community. And this is the purpose of this pyramid symbol, is showing you structure. It's all it means: structure, organized, order, and structure. If it's disorganized, you can't have a pyramid, square, or a circle. It's going to all fall apart. If it's not, it's chaos. And so if you want to take the order out of the chaos, this is the structure. Akshita, you already know this subconsciously, and you kind of like running from it, but you know what you're supposed to do, and you're going to do what you're supposed to do because that's just who you are. And a lot of people are going to be taken aback because you don't kiss their ass, but you can send them to me so I can cuss them out and tell them to kiss mine in your stead. Yeah. Anyway, so you already know. It's in your voice when you speak, and that's why I told you that the sisters need to hear you speak. The same with Eli. She good. She out of Chicago, and I post some of her videos too. And the fairy thug mother, that's my baby. She out cold with the knowledge. And it's a couple more sisters on there. I can't name them all right now but the information and the sharing with these type of women that creates the family structure. These type of women coming together is what generates the energy. See, who is the motherfucker who issued the challenge to the Moors and the indigenous to tell us who we wasn't and who they were, right? All of this shit, my mama used to tell me all my life, what goes around comes around. All of this shit that went around is on its way back around, and it comes through a Pluto return. That's some heavy shit, right? So we got the 2/22/2022 portal,
We got the Pluto return on George Washington's birthday. George Washington issued a challenge to the Moors and the indigenous because they thought we was the same, but we ain't. And when they found out now that we ain't the same and that I can tell the difference between us and them wherever they meet. And when they send they motherfucking, because Elijah said the last trick the devil gonna do is to just freely offer you his woman. But he ain't never tell you his woman was gonna smell like a half a cow. Right? Because our women believe in yoni care. Like that's like a big thing because the yoni is the portal of life, and the portal of life is a sacred place. And the desecration of the sacred place comes in the form of mastectomies and hysterectomies. So if we understood that by watching how our people move, watch how they move, we reverence the womb and they despise it. That doesn't make sense. How do you despise the womb when you come from one? But they don't have that respect for the womb. They got a greater respect for the phallus. You can't grow in the phallus for 9 months. It's just not going to happen. Right? So we can push this patriarchal bullshit agenda, or we can go back to us. I vote for go back to us. So I'll tell y'all the secret. The secret is them niggas that don't want to be black don't have to be black. You know, because all of us wasn't intended to be in the war. All of us wasn't part of the war. You got to remember, everybody didn't sign treaties with these motherfuckers. Some of us ain't never stopped fighting. That's why they got blowed up shit all over this bitch, flooded out cities all over this bitch, castles that's abandoned all over this bitch, because all the motherfuckers that lived in the castles went to fighting Seminole wars. All the motherfuckers lived in the castle went to fighting Seminole wars. Ain't nobody staying in Big Mama house if Big Mama ain't safe to come home. That's just the way it is. We ain't letting nobody stay in there, and y'all ain't either. Right? So some of them, they turned into prisons. Right? Them the ones that they didn't know what to do with. They turned them into prisons. Stinking ass motherfuckers. But I'm making shit up. When you can go look at this shit. You can go look in the Smithsonian and they got all of the artifacts to tell you that we was over here the whole time. Right? That this has always been the great melding pot. That's not a Eurocentric terminology applied to the land. That's their understanding of the land before they ever came here. Right? Then also, this motherfucker over here didn't believe in, if you had a voice, unless you proved yourself to be a liar, your voice had legitimacy until we can analyze what you saying. We didn't just take your word for it, but we didn't discount what you said. We went and used it as a foundational tool to do a research to determine if we need to pay attention to what the fuck you saying. Because you might be telling us exactly how to get out of the problem, but we so used to now listening to the other man that we don't give a fuck what's going on with the brother man. Right? So, in academia, they was calling us Negroes, the coloreds, the African Americans, and all that shit. But in the hood, we was greeting each other. What's happening, brother? What's going on, blood? Wait a minute. Brothers. That's what Stone's vice lords call each other. Blood. That's what them bloods in LA call each other. Wait a minute. We've been knowing who we was the whole time and been calling ourselves who we were without even knowing we was identifying ourselves to one another in the presence of everybody, and they made fun of us and called it blaxploitation. Pay attention to the exaggeration, because the exaggeration is the thing that says pay attention. And if you pay attention to the exaggeration, you'll find a whole revelation of a nation that's been percolating under the bottom the whole time. Talking in ghetto code, did it eat that, as motherfucking Gil Scott would say. Right? So, the parents got a language. The children got a language. They don't always speak the same language, but the children normally know what the parents is talking about. Right?
Not reload the but just reload YouTube. It just popped up just now, probably.
Yep. I just want to be able to see the live chat.
Better get it cracking, bro. I got the live chat pulled up. Let me share this. Oh yeah, I got the thumbnail already put up on there. So hey, if you're in the building, we give them time to come in because I just made the announcement just like 30 minutes ago. So they loading in here now. It's going up now.
Mm-hmm.
So we give them a couple minutes. So just hit the shit, get right, set up. We're gonna get in.
So for the ones that's coming in earlier today, we're going to be going over some of the history and show y'all how they be hiding shit in plain sight when they be telling the story. Right. So a lot of people elder than heard me say a lot of times that we left the land to go fight the Gullah Wars or the Seminole Wars, depending on who's telling the story, the victor or the defeated, or us versus them. The person telling the story determine what the name of the wars is called. So when the Spaniards is telling it, or those sympathetic to the Spanish cause, conquistadors, they call it the Seminole Wars. But the key reason they call it the Seminole Wars is what we need to be trying to figure out. Because we need to find out what the word Seminole means. Right? And the root word is semi.
Oh yeah, that's fire. Go ahead.
Semi means part or half or almost.
Okay.
It's a portion of something. The Spaniards claim they called us Seminoles because we were an admixture of tribes. We weren't an original tribe. We was tribes conglomerate of tribes. Now they was telling the world in the Seminole Wars, the black Seminoles was runaway slaves that ran away to Florida. Now, before we go any further with that concept, anybody ever heard in anybody's history book that the slaves fled south to escape slavery?
I heard it.
Where'd they go?
I mean, that's not south. They said north. I mean, they said they escaped north.
Yeah, to escape slavery, right?
Yeah.
Okay, is Florida north?
No.
Or south?
South.
So all of a sudden now they escaped into the south, and this is where the hotbed of activity is, primarily in the southeastern portion of the country. Right? So do we got a map in that collection?
Let's see. Right here, I think it's the map. Is that one of the maps you had?
Showing where the Seminoles were. If not, it's going to be explained in the other posts anyway.
Okay.
You see that red line?
Okay, you want to build that back up? All right. Hold up. Yeah, I see it.
Scroll down under the key.
The Seminoles.
Scroll down on the picture so we can see the map.
You see it right there?
It's going to tell you what each color line means.
Yeah, the red represents Seminole. The purple represents Chickasaw. Yellow represents Creek. Blue represents Cherokee.
I want the people that's watching to see it too. Now remember, they say that they brought us on ships. How the fuck is they getting across the Gulf of Mexico into New Orleans?
Yeah, right. That's a good right here. The yellow, the Seminole.
That's Creek Indian. Yellow, red is the Seminole. How they coming across the Gulf?
Yeah, how do they get across if they ain't got no boats?
But look where they going. You see where they are going, right? Okay, so this is the Trail of Tears. We was actually moving in the opposite direction of the arrows. And they was moving with the $5 Indians backtracking on where we left so that they can feel our encampments, our villages, and turn them into reservations. So this is the pattern that they shown. They saying that we went west, but when we read the story about the Seminole Wars, we gonna find out
which direction we was really going. And I ain't the one wrote this shit. I ain't write this shit, Elder. I'm just pointing out what I see. You dig?
Yeah, I got you. This right here, fight. This right here, something to think about.
So we letting the people get a chance to come in. We at 85 now. As soon as we break 100, we gonna take off full flight on this shit.
All right.
So the start is the pictures that's actual screenshots of an article that tells the history of the Seminole Wars or the Gullah Wars. So go to the folder. We at 90, Elder. So this might give us right on time.
Let me go back to the first picture. What you start, because they all in order. How you sent them to me.
Right. Let's go back. Let's see what the layout look like. Then I can tell you where I need to be.
Okay. All right. Let me blow it up. Let's make the side down. Right here, same picture. I don't need one picture of it.
Okay, the reason why this picture is in here, you see the red circle right there?
Where?
The picture you was just on. Go back to it.
Okay, right here?
Yeah, we just gonna go through the pictures.
All right.
Because they just in here for reference points.
Yeah, right there.
The second one. Go to the second picture at the top.
Okay.
Because you already had the first one was Taj. Right? Then the second one you had it up, but you took it down. No, not that. Go back over to the left 2 pictures.
I got it.
Okay, I'm looking at the other screens. I need to be looking at the same screen you on.
Okay, yeah. This is a picture you're talking about with the red circle on it, right?
Right. Now you see what it's saying there?
Yeah. It says Oxman Bay praying in front of Mongolian. I can't see that.
Okay, now blow the picture up so that they can see what's going on. Because you wouldn't know that this is not a pilgrim and the so-called Indian, except for the way that the Mongolians dressed over there was different. The leather they used was from the yak, which is a different texture from the leather we use from the bison.
Go ahead.
So you'll see that they guard, it looks more harder leather. But remember, also another reason for this picture right here is I told you that the Moors was fighting Seminoles. I mean, was fighting Mongols, and they was capturing them, using them as servants and slaves, and that's who they brought over here and passed off as $5 Indians. This just showing you a Moor doing salat in front of the Mongols that's obviously about to kill his ass.
That's fire, man. See them out.
Yep. Okay, now this picture right here is important. You see those swords on their hat? All of them was sworn by a death oath, including Kirkman Bay. But he couldn't leave Millie Ill in there because he was dirty too. Right?
Both of them was dirty.
Yep. So it was a couple of more people that left the Moorish Science Temple after the funeral of Noble Drew Ali, but they became FOI later on. But we're not going to get into that. That's going to sidetrack us. But the reason we got this picture is so you can see these motherfuckers is sworn to secrecy. That's Gerald Ford at the top right. C. Kirkman Bay top center. That's motherfucking J. Edgar Hoover top left. I think that's Eisenhower on the bottom left. And that's an actor. I forgot his name. But that's all from the ancient.
I know these are three president. Sure.
This all the ancient Arabic order of the nobles of the mystic shrine. Right? That's what that's all about. Okay, go on the next picture. This is a crest of the black nobility. That's how black them niggas is. We black, but we ain't that black. That's because their heart is that black. Straight chaos beings. But they ain't the chaos beings like we are. We chaos beings from the order of the light.
Yeah.
So they come over here with a different energy. Truman, that's the president we seen. The president we seen was Truman. Okay, now notice the colors.
Yeah.
Colors is always important. All right, let's go on to the next one. These are Mongols and Huns, or what it say at the top?
It says
That's Latin. We ain't got to try to read it. It's Latin.
oh shit. Yeah.
Look at the bottom of it, see if it got something written in English.
Nah, that's the whole picture right there.
Okay, now these are the same motherfuckers they passing off as $5 Indians, mixed with pale skinned Europeans. Okay, let's go. I wanted them to see what
It
they
says
look
something about
like.
the type of race. Like yeah, it says something about the type of race. That what I know this right here is like Latin. Is what Q is what typo like
Yeah,
type.
the Asiatic continent.
Yeah.
It's what types of races from the Asiatic continent.
Yep, that's what it's saying. Yep.
I didn't want to translate it. So
Yeah. But
since you
know
pushed
what
the
the
issue.
topic is off over time of just seeing different shit. I can just translate some of it because I know a little bit of Spanish.
Okay, now look at these people.
Yep.
This is a picture of your Seminole nation fighting against the enemy. This is what we looked at like. This is how we dress.
Mm-hmm. That's
right.
Keep in mind.
Now you notice we got different styles of dress, different headgear. That's because we a conglomeration of tribes right now.
Mm-hmm. That's fire.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
That's fire. How you got that right there?
Okay, that's the map we went over earlier. Right. Now, what this say?
The goal of Seminole to defeat U.S. Army. Christmas Day, 1837. The Battle of Lake
Okeechobee. That was one of the most definitive battles to curb the people being taken as prisoners of war and used as servants.
Mm-hmm.
That they called the slave system, which we're gonna get to that in a minute because we need to find out what they really was doing with this emancipation shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, now let's read what this say. It says the Seminole Wars, 3 related military conflicts in Florida between the United States and the Seminole, citizens of a Native American nation. Now look what it say. This is important. Which formed in the region during the early 1700s.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That means that before the 1700s, what we know as Seminoles wasn't formed.
Exactly. Go ahead.
Right. Now look what it say. Hostilities commenced in 1816 and continued through 1858 with 2 periods of uneasy truce between active conflict. You see what it say now, right?
Yep.
All right. Now, this is, notice they call it the Seminole Wars.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't never had no truce with them motherfuckers, is what they not telling you. But let's go on to the next one.
That's right. We ain't never back down. Go ahead.
Now notice the name at the top of that.
Yep. See
the year?
Yep. 1739, 1858.
Now read what it said at the bottom of the picture.
The real reason
U.S. chattel slavery ended.
Okay, all right. Yeah. That's deep.
Okay, so in the book Moors and Freemasonry, it say that the Moors was taking different people hostages, and according to their level, they would auction them back off. Keep that in mind. Remember, slaves were supposed to have been auctioned.
Yeah.
But now in the Moorish
prisoners of war.
Right. In the Moorish description, though, they saying that they were captives in war that they was auctioning off. I'm gonna put that up on our next one. I'm gonna bring that book out so I can show you what I'm talking about.
That's fire.
Okay, now let's go on in because we're about to start getting into some serious reading now.
We got 200 people in this joint. It's getting down. It's going live.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay, this is just another showing you the true wars that ended chattel slavery in the U.S. And they saying it was the North versus the South. And they told us the North was the ones trying to abolish slavery, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I've been saying the whole time we didn't believe in slavery over here. Right?
Yep.
So why all of a sudden, if the North is fighting to abolish slavery, why are they hostile to this group of people?
Right.
It ain't making no sense, is it?
Nope.
Okay. Let's see what the next picture is. I might have you go to the Google for a minute, but I need to see the next picture first so I know where we at in the spread. That's important. See what it say under there?
Yamasi.
Gullah get you wars. The unconquered. You see it say unconquered, right?
Yeah, unconquered.
Who in the fuck is the Yamasi?
Right. Yeah, I know who they is, but like I say,
do he look like he came from motherfucking Asia?
Nah, he look like he came from West Africa with the Maladian Moors, the Mandingos, Mansa Musa now.
Or he look more like he came from one of these tribes over here.
Or he came from the Yamasis, who mixed in with the Washita, who became the Maladian Moors. They came over here and they dressed like that dude just dressed. Okay,
let's go to the next picture. Right, because before I start reading what I want to get into, this showing you a picture of actual people that's called Seminoles. We need to know what the people look like that we talking about while we talking about them, so we can have the right image in our mind while we talk about these people.
Yeah, that's right. That's good.
All right, so this is what they look like. I might be a couple more before we get to the article, but keep going.
All right.
Okay, this is the article. Now stop right here. Go to Google. Because we need to find out what this emancipation shit is. Look up emancipation etymology.
Oh shit. Okay, I didn't even type it. The term emancipation derived from emancipatio, post.
Spread that out so you can see the etymology of the word at the bottom of that same post.
Okay, let me blow it up.
Because you're going to find out that it means to transfer property.
Yeah, which term stems capital. Okay, let me blow it up. Auxiliary means a free person for previous restraints of legal disability.
That's not giving you the etymology of the word, though. Go
back.
Go back.
Okay, I go back. All right, this might be it right here. Setting free. Set free from control. Slavery. Which one you want me to pull up? Because it's mostly talking about the free from restraints, control, or power of another.
We need to. Oh, you spelled it wrong at the top. You spelled emancipation wrong. It's with an E.
Yeah, I got it with an E right here. I got it with an E.
At the top in the search bar?
No, not to my life, not the search bar, but I got it with
when you go to the search bar, put it in there right, it's gonna pull up the etymology of the word.
Yeah, see, I got it right here. I got the E on there now. It's the same thing.
Right, but it's not giving you what we're looking for. You got to write it right in the search box to get the part we're looking for.
Yeah, I got it written in the search bar.
Okay, now let's go back to the top.
I think you might be delayed. Your stream might be delayed on what you're watching because I got the.
Okay, look.
Okay.
The etymology, the term emancipation derives from emancipatio, the act of liberating a child from paternal authority, which in turn stems from manu capere, or capture from someone else's hands. It's a transfer of property in truth. Right?
Yep.
Because that's what it's saying right there, where it's saying liberating the child from the paternal authority, which in turn stems from manu capere, capture from someone else's hands. That means the state, Abraham Lincoln representing the corporation, took the slaves took the POWs from the agents that was holding them in a private capacity and made them become a manumission servant. Put the term manumission in there, M-A-N. Put the search bar out.
What? Say it, spell it again.
M-A-N-U-M-I-S-S-I-O-N. This is a trustee status of a servant.
And another word for that is subjects, right? Subjects.
No. Just pull it up. Let's see what it say. Read what it say.
It says it comes from the old French manumission, meaning freedom, emancipation, and it comes directly from Latin manumission, meaning freeing of a slave. It is derived from the word manu, meaning hand, and the same root applies to the word manually. And mirrors means let's go.
Okay, now the reason why I have you looking this word up is a legal doctrine called meritorious manumission. So take out etymology and in front of that put meritorious, and I'll spell it for you. Okay, go in front of that word. M-E-R-I-T-O-R-I-U-S. Can you read what it say? I can't see it on the unless I wait for it to come in on the other one. Okay, so the term meritorious manumission comes from the Meritorious Manumission Act of 1710 in the United States, which authorized the legal emancipation of slaves or improvement in their status in return for certain good deeds. Such deeds could include saving a so-called white person's life or saving a white person's property. Right? So this is when they start giving the name freedmen out to the ones who had meritorious manumission. Now, it's the same thing as having trustee status on the plantation.